That is good. About it, and it's been a minute since I've done any type of what I eat in a day, what I eat in a week. I thought I would just go fully in this week and bring you along with me. You can see things that I've been loving, so I'm just going to show you random things here and there. I had a little quick breakfast this morning before I left. So I made some apple and cinnamon oats. I just cooked my oats down with my normal ingredients, so some chia seeds, some protein powder, lots of cinnamon, grated in some apple, all cooked in some almond milk, added in some raisins, some hemp seeds. I know the list is crazy. And yeah, just cooked some blueberries down just to top this porridge with. Also added on top some Greek yogurt and some extra hemp seeds with a swirl of honey. I just picked up some sourdough. It was either the regular sourdough or the potato sourdough, but I just went for the regular house sourdough, which is so delicious. I saw this in the supermarket. It's a Mahomara dip, and I love Odyssey. I love the brand. I used to buy their olive oil quite a lot actually. It's really delicious. Tuna, this tuna, for me it's the best. I don't have to do anything to it. Like, I'll add a bit of lemon juice and some salt, but it's just tasty as it is. I'm going to wash and chop up some rocket. I've got an avocado. I'm gonna add some feta to it as well. So I'm almost chopping the rocket up like it's a herb. Smell how strong this stuff is. Yeah. Friend gifted me this years ago and I still have it. It is hands down the best balsamic vinegar I've ever had in my life. I need to get hold of another bottle. I don't think you can find it in regular supermarkets, but yeah, I'm gonna search for it because it is so tasty. I've got a little drop left there. I'm gonna finish my tuna Mahomara open sandwich with. Couldn't really get any of that balsamic out. Definitely need to order another bottle. I'm really enjoying this. I just went to grab some more Mahomara, put some more on. Sometimes during the week, if I'm honest, around this time, the last thing I want to do is cook. Nothing compares to a healthy, balanced meal that you've prepared, lovingly prepared yourself. You know exactly what's gone into it. I've actually got that start of the week Monday motivation today, so yeah, I'm going to cook up something delicious. So over the past year or so, I've definitely got way more into strength training. I take it way more seriously, and with that I'm way more aware of getting good quality protein, sufficient good quality protein in to ensure that I keep on track, to make me aware of my progress. The Hume Health Body Pod has been brilliant. A big thank you to Hume Health for sponsoring today's video. This body pod has been a complete game changer in understanding my body composition. So think of the body pod as an in-body scan that you can do at home. The body pod measures 40 different metrics and gives you access to a progress history report through the app, which is completely free to download. As a woman in her mid-30s, I'd say I'm very intentional about future-proofing, future planning for my health. There's a couple of metrics that the body pod provides that I guess I focus more on, those being the muscle mass reading, which can be found in the Fit Focus data, and my bone mass metric, which can be found in the Health Assess. Both are equally as important for me to continue to feel my optimal best in all stages of my life. I have found it so insightful and fascinating to have an in-depth breakdown of other metrics other than weight. We all know that a weight reading alone isn't necessarily going to give you a full overview of what's going on. Are we making progress? Are we building muscle? I love that you're able to get a full body reading thanks to the 8 frequency sensors. This means that you are able to scan your torso, arms and legs at an accuracy of 98% compared to medical grade scans. The AI powered insights provided by the Hume Health app will allow you to put in practice practice actionable steps to reach your goals, helping you to cultivate tailored habits to suit your personal needs. Hume Health are currently having a month-long Black Friday sale offering 35% off. You can use my code and receive up to 50% off your total. Please note that this code is only valid for 7 days, so make the most of it whilst you can. Head over to Hume Health, go and check out the body pod. I absolutely love it. Thank you once again to Hume Health for sponsoring this week's video. What are we cooking tonight? I've got some chicken thighs that I seasoned last night, and I'm feeling like some type of mash, either sweet potato, I might do a combination. I've got this kabuka squash that really needs using. I love kabuka squash. I find it so rich, so tasty. And then I've got some spinach, some really gorgeous, vibrant, fresh looking spinach, which I'm just gonna chop up and cook down. I placed my chicken thighs onto a baking tray and then I placed them into the oven. Meanwhile, I prepped my mash. So I peeled and chopped up my sweet potato and the squash. I'm so used to steaming everything that I think I'm gonna steam these potatoes and I'm gonna steam that squash. I steamed the sweet potato and the kabuka squash until both were soft enough to be mashed. I placed in some butter and I placed in some salt. So I also cooked down some garlic and shallots, adding half of the garlic and shallots into the mashed sweet potato and saving half for the spinach that I cooked. Yeah, I cooked the spinach with the garlic and shallots. I added in a touch of bone broth, some olive oil, some salt, some pepper, and yeah, just let that cook. Right at the end, I actually placed in a touch of creme fraiche and yeah, served this dinner up. So removed those chicken thighs from the oven and I served up that sweet potato mash, the spinach, placed the chicken on. I really, really enjoyed this meal. This morning I woke up, I've been waking up really early these days, but it feels really good because I'm going to bed early also. I feel like I'm in a really good routine. So before I went to the gym, which is right here, I put my dandelion in a flask and obviously poured in some hot water and just let that steep. That's been steeping for a couple of hours, so it's gonna be nice and strong. So I'm just gonna sip on that this morning, and I'm so hungry. I feel like I always say that, but I'm really, really hungry. I might just do like an omelette or something really simple. I did a little food shop this morning, so I'm gonna show you what I randomly picked up. I found some watercress in my fridge that looks a little lifeless, but I don't want to waste it. It's still good. So I'm going to throw it in my omelette. You usually think of watercress as something that you have raw, but I actually love cooking mine. I love just cooking most things, to be honest, if possible. Also found some cherry tomatoes. I'm going to do a cherry tomato, watercress and feta omelette. Simple, simple, simple. Whilst the pan's heating, let me quickly show you what I grabbed from the supermarket. Nothing that exciting, to be honest. Actually, supermarket shops are always exciting for me, even the small little ones. Grabbed some jarred chickpeas. You guys know I used to love pressure cooking my chickpeas, and I still do occasionally. It's just now in the supermarkets you can find some really good quality, really delicious beans. I just, it's just, yeah, I guess just for ease sake, yeah, I grabbed some of these. I needed some tahini. I love a good runny light tahini. So yeah, this one is actually great. I'm going to make this gnocchi dish that someone actually cooked for me recently and it was so good. So yeah, I'm gonna recreate it. I've got some mushrooms, some tomatoes, and some shop-bought gnocchi. Garlic, lemons, a couple of sweet potatoes, some dates, some Kalamata olives. I always have a jar of olives on hand. Some basmati rice, because we love rice. I want to make a quinoa and green plantain porridge. I did a plantain porridge last week with amaranth, but I can't find amaranth in the supermarket. I would have to go to a health food store. And it was really, really delicious. The plantain was a little bit overripe for the porridge, so I grabbed a green plantain, got some quinoa instead of the amaranth, but I'm going to basically do the same thing. I'll probably put the quinoa to soak tonight and yeah, make the porridge in the morning tomorrow. I have a really bad habit of allowing either a block of tofu or a block of tempeh just expire in my fridge. I haven't had tofu for a while. I actually quite fancy it with some rice, which is left over. And I'm just gonna prep a few vegetables. Found in the fridge, half an avocado, some lentils. So I just used a couple of things that I have to make this tofu tasty. One being this citrus and spice blend that I found in the supermarket and some harissa paste. So I chopped my tofu into cubes and I placed in both the seasonings, swirled in a little bit of olive oil, just mixed everything up. Also placed in some salt, placed the tofu on a flat-lined baking sheet, placing it into the oven until it was cooked. Found a couple of random vegetables. This red pepper needed using, just chopped the bit off that was no good, and yeah, chopped the rest up. Chopped up one red onion, placed it onto the baking sheet with the tofu, and then placed it back into the oven and let everything cook. I'm gonna put together a quick tahini and yogurt dressing. It's gonna take me probably about a minute. So yeah, I placed some of this tahini into a bowl, followed on by some Greek yogurt, which is just gonna make everything so creamy. Squeezed some lemon juice in, a touch, just a tiny touch of garlic, some maple syrup, some salt, and I also placed in a little bit of water just to thin everything out, but I actually like my tahini dressing, whatever, dip, whatever, quite thick. Grabbed my half packet of beluga lentils and heated a pan with some olive oil. Kept it very simple, just used a bit of garlic powder, some chili flakes and some salt. So we've got the harissa tofu, some leftover rice. You saw I just crisped those lentils up in the pan. I've got a little bit of watercress and some leftover just random things that I had. So the peppers and the onions and that tahini sauce, which I've made up enough. So I'm just gonna put it in a jar and yeah, have it for the rest of my week. I'm probably gonna throw lots more on as well whilst I'm eating. Wrapped up a good 4 hours of editing. I was very focused and it's made me very hungry, and if I'm being completely honest, I really don't want to cook, but I have all of this gnocchi ingredients and I'm really feeling for this gnocchi that someone lovingly prepared and made for me recently, and it was so good that it's been on my mind. Randomly ordered this early harvest olive oil. This is the time to get hold of some really tasty olive oil. And it was so good last year that I thought, let me treat myself. This is how I treat myself. I deserve a little treat. And yeah, I think it's Kirubi. I'm not sure how you say the name, but it's here. This is this gorgeous bottle of olive oil. Wow, wow. The only bottles that I'm interested in popping, okay? I can definitely see this being something that will be on repeat in my kitchen. Let me know if you want a full breakdown of this recipe. If you actually want the full recipe, let me know and I will provide. Good morning. So we're gonna do that plantain porridge. I've got my plantain, put my quinoa to soak last night, and I just cooked it up this morning. Thing is with white quinoa is it actually doesn't need very long soaking. Like you can get away with an hour to 4 hours. Anytime after 4 hours, it will kind of start to sprout, which is what happened, but that's completely fine because it's all gonna get blended up. I'm not throwing it in a salad or anything, so I don't mind sprouted little strands from the quinoa grain. Anyways, we're gonna do this plantain porridge. Start off by heating up our spices and letting the spices release in some water. So I'm gonna use some cinnamon, grate some nutmeg in there. I'm gonna put some lime peel in there, and any other kind of spice that I think would be nice. So as mentioned, we're gonna bring some spices to a boil to start with. So I just filled my pan with some water, adding in some cinnamon stick. I grated in some nutmeg and I also threw in some lime peel. So yeah, I just peeled and chopped up my green banana, placing it in my high-speed blender along with some water and that cooked quinoa. I just blitzed everything until smooth. Typically people will add oats to a green plantain porridge, but I found that quinoa works just as well. So once everything was completely smooth, once it looked something like this, and once those spices were extracted in that water, I basically combined everything together. Kind of reminds me of cooking polenta. You just got to keep on whisking. You don't want to stop whisking. Now that it's thickened up a lot more, we're gonna throw some coconut milk and I'll probably sweeten it with a bit of maple syrup. This has been my favorite breakfast of the week so far. That is good. So creamy. Spices are on point. I love it. Wow. I really fancy a curry tonight. I've got some leftover butter beans that need using. Got some lemongrass paste that I made about a week ago, which is in my fridge. So it's going to be like a coconut lemongrass curry. I just think ghee makes everything taste better. So I started with some ghee in a pan, cooked down my onions, garlic, ginger and chili, threw in my spices, threw in some chopped tomatoes, some coconut milk, found some random carrots in my fridge. Usually I prep them right after the farmer's market, but clearly I hadn't this week. So just gave them a good wash, good scrub, and threw them in along with the chickpeas, placing in some fresh coriander to finish. So I fancied some tender stem on the side. So I chopped up my tender stem and I placed it onto a baking tray along with some olive oil and some salt. I placed it on quite a low heat, so about 150 degrees Celsius. Whilst it was cooking in the oven, I mixed up some olive oil, some honey, some fresh garlic and some sesame seeds. I used some furikake specifically, but sesame seeds, any sesame seeds will work. Once the tender stem was just about cooked to my liking, I placed over that honey, garlic, olive oil and sesame seed combination, and then I placed it back into the oven for a couple of minutes. This was so tasty, so good, such a delicious way to cook the tender stem, paired so well with that curry. Oh, I paired the curry with some quinoa. This meal was delightful. It was delicious. As well as really focused on my strength training, I've actually been doing hot yoga consistently, I'd say, for the last year or so. That means I really need to be on top of replenishing my electrolytes. So I'm using some Himalayan pink salt this morning. I also love these element electrolytes. So yeah, I'll just mix it up. Usually I take these on the go with me. When I'm at home, do like a little bit of pink salt. I'm going to just do eggs, plantain, and whatever greens I can find, I'll probably just put them to steam. Simple, easy, quick breakfast. We'll never get over how delicious baked apples are. I put a couple in the oven, then I jumped in the shower. By the time I got out, got ready, they were done, perfect, served them up. Ate those, and yeah, now I need some proper breakfast. Found some cabbage. Just gonna peel off a few of the outer leaves, chop that up, put it to steam. So I was filming in my kitchen today, shooting for a video. This is one of the recipes that I filmed that I enjoyed for my lunch. It's a kale and mushroom leek butterbean cheesy bake. I'm going to share the full recipe very, very soon with you all. A lot of the meals that I cooked up, enjoyed and ate this week. Let me know if you like this style of video. Let me know if you want to see more what I eat in weeks. I will see you all in my next video very, very soon. See you. Bye.